Remember when games were actually good? Because I do. I remember before the time that they would just push out the same game. I'm looking at you, EA. And when Ubisoft would actually make good quality Assassin's Creeds. Those were the times. And then when Ubisoft would try to push out a game that would replicate it and it would just be absolute hot garbage. Or when they actually put out an Assassin's Creed game and it would actually be very controversial because of the gameplay features. It's no doubt that Ubisoft has definitely fallen off. However, the new release of the remake of Assassin's Creed 4 has sparked something in my head. Why is the remake actually really good? When news about this remake was coming out, it sparked a lot of skepticism. Me included, because how would Ubisoft approach a remake for the first time?
No way to earn a fortune.
We don't need a fortune.
Thank goodness it's not the ugly cutscenes, oh my gosh.
It's not about need, Caroline.
In recent years, it seems like Ubisoft's game quality has just dropped off the map completely, which is completely true.
Lurido porco! Ezio, my friend! Ma che ti piglia?
I'm ready for you to tell me what the shrine fortune says.
Who gave you that? It doesn't belong to you.
But with the positive reviews for the remake, we gotta see what actually made Assassin's Creed 4 really good.
Keep talking.
If we look at stealth specifically, it's nothing that's changed inside the remake. They kept it pretty much the same and added a little bit of quality of life. You can now manually crouch, besides that, that's pretty much it for stealth. But pretty much, Assassin's Creed 4 has stayed relatively the same since it first launched in 2013. You still obviously got all your tools available to you, for example the blow dart, the rope dart, smoke bombs, but nothing has changed drastically. It's not like we got an improvement of AI or its improved stealth system. It all stayed the same, which is good actually. Even the parkour stayed the same, nothing even changed for any of it. One improvement to the old game was the removal of the modern day sections and tailing missions. But some of the combat was changed up a little bit for the good and some for the worse. Ubisoft did change how combat works now. It's actually more of an RPG style. But every step forward that Ubisoft takes, they take 3 steps back. For example, it seems like they have the same style for every game that they make. This is the exact same menu that we had in Shadows. But when you look at the combat in the game, it's still so good, and when you get in the flow, it's so much fun.
No fuss.
One thing about the RPG combat that I do like is that the fact that you can no longer abuse the dodging and parrying mechanics so easily.
Not quite. You'll have to do better than that.
But it's not perfect at all. For example, Ubisoft did get rid of the feature where you can pick up enemies' weapons and use muskets, for example. However, besides those hiccups, the gameplay is still amazing when it comes to combat. And it makes me wonder, why is the game so good? Well, let's look at one of the biggest selling points of Assassin's Creed 4. Wow, I just turned daytime for no reason. The Assassin's Creed Naval combat was ahead of its time when it first released. And even now, it's still really good and it holds up to today's standards. It might even be better. And even in the new game, it holds up amazingly well. It's still better than most pirate games you see nowadays. For example, I spent 1 hour just sailing around and taking down ships, and I didn't get bored a single time. I was just literally grinding for no reason, and the game just started. When you board a ship, it still feels amazing. It's like nothing changed. Except for the fact that there's new graphics and a new combat style, which honestly doesn't bother me at all. It just stays perfect as it is, a perfect pirate game. One thing that I will give Ubisoft is the new additions to the ship upgrades and all that. It's actually really good. I don't think it's too complicated at all. I think it's the perfect amount of RPG mechanics. And then you just look at the open world, everything just adds up perfectly in this game. If they were to take out any of these, I feel like people would have complained, but they didn't. The thing is, when Assassin's Creed Black Flag was first made, that was when Ubisoft had care and actual thought into what they wanted to make. They actually cared about the fans. And it's like, that's the thing, they no longer have that passion or that love that they would make games with, it feels like. Not the developers, but just the company itself. They seem to be focused more on what the reviews look like, or how much money are they making, or what profits could they be made off of this. They handcrafted this gameplay just to be so addicting and fun for players to like. That's what old Ubisoft used to do, before the fame. If you look at the Steam page, everybody leave a positive review pretty much. A lot of people complain about some features missing, and here's the thing that I actually realized. Ubisoft isn't doing this for the fans. It more seems like they're doing it for themselves, to keep themselves out of bankruptcy. Now, I'm not saying the developers didn't put any effort in at all and they're money hungry, but it seems like the studio almost is just going for money. For example, why in the world would they start with Assassin's Creed 4 for a remake, instead of making the first one? This is probably the likelihood that they realized that this would probably sell the most for everybody. In my opinion, this isn't a bad thing, but it just kind of goes to show what the studio is actually trying to do. And it's kind of pathetic when you look at it. If you look at other studios, they also kind of do the same thing, but except when they make a game, they just copy and paste it and leave no effort in. One thing I will give to Ubisoft is some of their games, well, most of their games feel like they're actually different. If you look at old Ubisoft, they actually put in a lot of effort into Assassin's Creed 4. And that's pretty much why they left it the same in the remake. They didn't change the story, they just added quality of life features which people expected to see, because if not, they would have called it just a cash grab. In my opinion, this was not a cash grab. They actually feel like they put in a little bit more effort to make sure, that people enjoyed it and they weren't leaving bad reviews. I hope this is where Ubisoft actually wakes up and realizes if they actually make good games, like in 2013 when they made Assassin's Creed 4, that it would sell really good. It's not like they needed to put in a bunch of microtransactions. But when they actually made quality games, people would buy it. Like, I would hope to see a Splinter Cell remake, but it scares me on what they would actually do with the IP itself. But I don't have anything else besides that. I think Ubisoft just really needs to wake up and get their stuff together. And most companies do actually nowadays. For example, Call of Duty just seems like the same old thing and everybody buys it because they added one new innovation. But let me know what you guys think. I think Ubisoft did a really good job with this game. I personally love it a lot. Even though it's just Assassin's Creed 4 with a couple of quality of life changes. It's not like anything changed majorly in the story besides, getting rid of the modern day sections. But I do like this game, and don't get me wrong, Ubisoft does make good games most of the time. Sometimes they really do mess it up and trying to get money. But pretty much that's it for you guys. Thank you guys.